This is a crash course in how to live a healthy life.
I invite you to transcend what you've known as normal. Welcome to Wild Flowing Fire.
The medicinal blessings that the earth gives us are crucial. They're beautiful and they're an intrinsic part of having fun, being joyful, and healing the basic intense feelings, wounds, pains, fears that we have over the course of our lives. They are also the same patterns that can lead to profound addiction. A healthy life is not as simple as either or. This is good, this is bad. A healthy life flowers when you're able to be at peace with the balances. You learn to feel yourself and become so aware that you're able to allow needs to build. You don't respond to them the second you notice them. You become aware of them, you breathe with that awareness, and over the course of several days, you intentionally and consciously respond to them. If you don't live this way, if you just react impulsively, you're going to lose your sense of self. You're going to lose your self-confidence and your ability to restrain, focus, and make intentional choices, and it'll affect everything you do. This is very simple and straightforward. You got once a week to do a whole range of things in a way that I believe is actively healthy for you. Have a good solid dessert, an ice cream cone or a big cookie. Have a drink. Smoke a bowl or a joint. Smoke some tobacco. When you do this once a week, the chemistry in your body replenishes in a very healthy way for all of these activities. You need to be able to restrain yourself enough to allow this relationship to be in balance with your body. And in order to do that, you need to learn to recognize your mental and emotional needs as a little bit distinct from your physical needs. Mentally and emotionally, you can develop patterns where you use these substances to respond to insecurity or pain or loneliness or fear or depression or anger. And that's good. That's what they're for. But if you use it out of proportion with your body's ability to handle this intake and outtake, you're going to damage your lungs, you're going to damage your liver, you're going to damage your self-esteem, you're going to do an disservice to a good life. And the simple rule is once a week, maybe two. And here's why the maybe is so crucial. You don't make the maybe, I've got another that I could do. You make the maybe if it's really right, if it feels really good in tune. The two is purposefully flexible. If you find yourself living with two every single week, you're at an edge that is out of balance. Alcohol is medicine for pain. Alcohol is medicine for pain. Low-level pain is stress. You're living through the course of a week. It's good to have an evening when you have a drink or two and be present with friends and family, laugh, tell some stories, let go. Alcohol helps you let go of things that are, it's time to let them move on. But your body can't handle a lot of it. So when you restrict yourself to a drink, or maybe two, depending on the rhythm of the week and the night, you're going to put yourself in a good position to cleanse. There's a cleansing quality to this, but make no mistake, alcohol is a poison. It's a poisonous substance that your body has to do work to process. And your body doesn't have the ability to process a lot of it without depleting strength from other areas of your life. From your physical form, from your organs, you will damage a good life if you drink much more than once. So when you take a night a week and you drink once and you do the maybe two because it's a perfect night and you have another drink another time, and 2 drinks total in the week is my encouragement, then you're going to put yourself in a position where you're actively confident. You allow yourself to rest in the sense of freedom and release. You take the poison on knowing your body can handle this, and it helps kill off a layer of yourself, a layer of your stressful self that leaves. And I'm telling you, this is a powerful medicine, and 1 drink serves the purpose. If you are drinking and feeling the more would be better, more would be better, more would be better, know yourself. Know yourself from this conversation we're having. No, it wouldn't be better. And so you need to get in touch with what is that voice that's going more and more and more. What is that more monster? It's the more monster we're working to restrain here in all of these substances and all of these habits. You need to learn to say hi to the more monster, but don't let it take over. The desire for more of any of these substances is a clear sign that you need a deeper support with the emotions and pain underneath. Find a spiritual counselor or a therapist who can be present with you to transform these feelings. And by building the self-confidence that you can again and again have a restrained and honest, joyful expression of your relationship with alcohol in this way, you're going to really give yourself many layers of a good life that you might not have even recognized until now. Have the discipline to maintain this boundary. It will be a gift that keeps on giving back to you. Tobacco. For many of you, this is probably one of the hardest ones. Tobacco can be a very difficult substance to do just occasionally. And when I tell you that it's actually healthy for you to do it occasionally, I'm not encouraging you to do it, but I am opening space for you to do it with a severe discipline to do it no more than once a week. I don't encourage you to smoke more than once a week. Tobacco is medicine for anger. Tobacco is medicine for anger, and tobacco is a sacred medicine. You don't smoke tobacco and casually complain about the circumstances in your life. In fact, be very clear with what you are focusing your attention on while you smoke. Tobacco is a prayerful substance. You want to intentionally be praying to heal the angers and the lack of clear boundaries in your life. Lack of clear boundaries induces a latent anger, whether you call it that or not. Lack of clear boundaries leaves you in a sense that you're getting walked over. So depression is a circumstance where this could be very useful. You smoke one cigarette I smoke a pipe, and I smoke a pipe with tobacco I grew. I smoke a pipe with tobacco I grew, and I pray. I say, I feel threatened by this particular circumstance and I want a clear boundary. It's been called a peace pipe. Tobacco can bring together people who have lived in hatred and generate the opportunity for a new way of life. When I fight, I pray that I have clear boundaries with this person, that I come to terms with whatever forces are still latent in my life in relation to them. I come to terms with whatever karma I have connected to them and any way in which I might be avoiding a truth. And I also say no to taking on any energy from them, for playing a role with them that allows them to, invade my sleep, invade my thoughts, take space, take energy from my life. Tobacco is an incredible magical medicine for this purpose. Tobacco is not intended to be used daily to draw boundaries. When you use tobacco daily, what you're demonstrating is that somehow you are living a life that's out of balance, where you're getting trampled on regularly. There's a reason that many service employees smoke a lot, because they're not being treated well. They're not being treated well by their bosses. They're not being treated well by the people they have to serve. And it's terribly damaging. The suffering they're going through is very real. The problem with using tobacco to reconcile that suffering is that it can enable people to stay stuck in a negative pattern. You cannot allow yourself to continue to live a life where you're stuck in a pattern where you're regularly being mistreated, your boundaries are being violated, and you're feeling anger within circumstances you can't express it. You can't talk back to your boss. You can't tell a patron to F off without losing your job. That is a demonstration that you're well past a point of health. But understand, the fact that you're drawn to use tobacco repeatedly under these circumstances is a clear message from your spirit, your body, and your mind that this is not a healthy situation and you have to prioritize changing it. Once a week, you make these prayers. Not only will it help you draw the boundaries you need to draw, it will help reveal to you the kind of steps you can take to lead a healthier life. Cannabis. Cannabis is medicine for fear. Cannabis is medicine for fear in many contexts. Cannabis is medicine for the initial fear of being free, being more alive. So it will often allow people to explore moving or creating art, music in forms that let's be clear, it is frightening to unleash a creative flow within you. On a practical level, it's frightening because when you start to feel that creative flow, you start to change the way you make decisions. You need it more. And so you want to stay wrapped up in it. It's harder to maintain a normal job. It's also easier to be at peace with circumstances that aren't okay. So to be honest with yourself about how you relate to the substance is crucial. When you smoke cannabis, you can sometimes put up with things that aren't good for you. And this takes the fear out of living a negative life, but it also can generate lethargy because the fear can motivate you to change circumstances that you need to change. Thus, I find it very important with all of these substances, with cannabis in particular, you put a heightened emphasis on make sure you're cleaning your space, make sure you're cleaning yourself, make sure you're taking care of the basics of washing dishes and eating healthy food that makes those dishes dirty to begin with. You need to put things in line because as you set clear intentions, you remove the fear from making changes. So cannabis can help you do that. Cannabis can help you by saying, okay, I'm going to smoke cannabis and then I'm going to practice yoga. It'll help you see that through. It helps generate momentum. And again, this might be subtle. You might not recognize how it's functioning, but it's taking the fear out of establishing new rhythms that can be very almost jittery inside. People experience that within because when you generate a new rhythm and it has the power of its birth into your life, ooh, that's intense. Unbeknownst to you, you might be avoiding making changes because you are afraid of how you feel when you change your life. And it can be hard to put that into words. I'm putting it into words and I'm inviting you to realize that if you use this intentionally, if you use cannabis in a way that's sacred, you're making a prayer to say, I'm going to smoke cannabis, I'm going to clean my house. Ooh, it can really help you do that when you've been stuck against doing it. Why would you be afraid of that? Because when you clean your house, you're revealing a clearer space and you're going to start to feel clearer. And when you feel clearer, you're going to be incapable of avoiding latent, repressed feelings, fears, pains that you carry. So there are all sorts of reasons that the fear infects our lives and prevents us from doing things in a way that you don't notice that it's fear. Cannabis can help heal that, but you have to use it intentionally. You have to create a clear intention, smoke, and follow through. Exercise, clean your space, create art, and then cherish it when you're done. When you're done, you work with that changed rhythm. You do your best to establish the rest of your week with that rhythm. You practiced once with the help of cannabis. Now try to get yourself to do it without the help. Your body will feel it. Your body goes through the process of doing whatever you do under cannabis's influence. Thus, it will be that much easier to do it without cannabis. Sugar. Look, make no mistake, sugar is not natural. It's highly processed, concentrated. I urge you to be very cautious about its use. You should elevate it to the same level of concern that you put tobacco, cannabis, alcohol under. Sugar is a powerful medicine for sadness, depression. When you use it wisely, it won't have that much of a negative impact, truly. You find yourself in the depths of feeling unhappy and you give yourself something sweet and you bring sweetness into your life. And that can trigger a whole change in attitude because you feel that sweetness on a physical level. You can experience it emotionally and you can use that to catalyze you into doing things that you wouldn't have done otherwise because you were too sad, you were too depressed, you were too down. So you use it intentionally as medicine, a medicinal relationship to this substance. You generate happiness in a place that was sad and you carry that happiness into further activities in your week. Once again, once a week, and then give yourself that maybe two for a situation in which you're either really sad and so you know you really need it, or it's really ideal. You're out with friends and you want to carry that sweetness on. Let's be clear. If one or maybe two desserts do not pull you out of your sadness, you are coping with a deeper sadness than you are supposed to try and handle with sweet. Must be willing to measure, is this in healthy balance? Once a week, maybe two. If you're evaluating this on a regular basis, you're able to feel the desire. You feel the desire and you go, It doesn't mean get up and go now. You need the confidence that comes with some degree of impulse control. But if you notice that you're feeling desire, you want to be able to evaluate, how much have I experienced this week? Well, I'm going to hold it off. This is much harder and much easier than complete abstinence. It's much harder because it's not clear. You have to make an ongoing decision. Yes, no, yes, no. That's not as simple as saying, I will never do something. There's something very brutally simple about saying, never, I will never do that. Your body is built to experience this kind of pleasure. It can be quite healthy to do this once, maybe twice a week. Once you start crossing that threshold to 3 times, you're actually depleting energy from the rest of your life fairly substantially. To be conscious of when these times occur, you really need to be committed to being in rhythm with the earth. If you're not in rhythm with the earth, you're not going to get this. But sometimes hedonism itself is a pull to get in touch with the earth when you've been deeply out of touch with the earth and you've developed a habit of living that creates a spiritual song within you that's out of touch with the earth. Make no mistake, it is very possible to generate ongoing habits that are just deeply, mechanical, technological, mental, all out of harmony with the rhythms of the wind and the water and the fire. When you get in touch with the earth by walking barefoot, when you get in touch with the weather by making sure you get outside regularly in the morning to feel the breeze, when you tune in to nature on a regular basis, you have a much clearer grasp on when to use her gifts, her medicinal, sacred gifts as healing powers in your life. Sugar, tobacco, cannabis, alcohol, none of them are good or bad. They're all about balance. These substances have a core purpose. And this purpose is, again, it's a gift, and it's a respectful gift. It puts the charge in your hands to make the choice, to recognize when to use them and when not to. It's a lot of power in these simple substances. You imbibe them, they change your consciousness like that. That's a lot of power. Of course it can be misused. Overindulgence is deeply damaging. In a society that has not known how to remain in balance, it is tempting to make exaggerated choices. This is good, this is bad. I'm a smoker, I'm not a smoker. To engage the medicine of these gifts, you must be able to both embrace it, honor it, and restrain it. Recognize the signals within yourself, the impulse, the instinct to consume or to indulge, and let it build up until it's time. And with any of these substances, by all means, if you cannot use and maintain a consistent discipline to restrain yourself, don't use them. Don't use them at all.